Are you sure you have everything? Stick? Yes. Gloves? Yes.
You have your phone?
Yes, of course.
Fully charged?
Yeah, it's like 50.
What?
Dad, it's fine.
Okay.
The premiere of Inside Out 2 has added another successful film to the Pixar and Disney roster. Many fans have waited years to see what was next for Riley and her emotions. The sequel tells a compelling story about growing up, encountering changes, and learning to accept parts of oneself that may seem unlikable on the surface. The film contains many themes and lessons, such as the previously released Turning Red. The similarities don't stop there, however, and in today's video, we'll discuss how the two films could coexist in the same universe.
Wow! Yeah, but it'll be super boring. Wouldn't you rather hang with Dad?
Number 1. The Pixar Theory. Among fans of Pixar, there's a single notion that dominates the online community. The Pixar Theory is the belief that every film the production company makes connects to create a cohesive timeline. Fans have spent countless hours piecing the theory together, developing elaborate stories, and finding compelling evidence that connects each film to another. Additionally, dozens will flock to the Pixar Theory timeline whenever another Pixar film is released to see where it belongs. As of 2024, the Pixar Theory claims that the universe began with Elemental, followed by The Good Dinosaur, and then continued with Brave. The theory continues through every Pixar film, explaining how machines, monsters, animals, and magical creatures have a place within their shared universe. Many fans believe that Turning Red fits into the timeline around the early Toy Story films. It also easily fits into the theory because magic is a widely accepted element and often helps make it possible, as sometimes magic is the only reasonable bridge between films. Inside Out occurs among films based within the modern world, including Coco and Up. These films indicate when humans become the primary focus in the universe, with more stories focused on growing up, loss, and change to encompass the overall human experience. If one were to believe the Pixar Theory, then Inside Out and Turning Red would have an automatic connection. They would take place in the same universe, simply years apart, with other films filling the gaps between them. However, there's also other evidence that could support the two films coexisting. Number 2. The Timeline. With many Pixar films, even the ones that have connections through Easter eggs and cameos, there are often timeline misalignments that make it impossible for them to exist in the same universe, unless drastic changes were made or centuries of time have passed between them. However, this isn't the case for Inside Out and Turning Red, as each exists on a reasonable timeline that could allow them to coexist in the same universe. Turning Red takes the audience into the past. The film takes place in 2002, with Ontario, Canada remaining the primary setting. The film has little pop culture nods to what it was like to grow up in the early 2000s, including Tamagotchi, jelly bracelets, boy bands, and Nokia cell phones. At the time of the film, May is 13, the same age as Riley during Inside Out 2. However, the original Inside Out film takes place in the years surrounding the mid-2010s, likely meant to resemble the modern world around its release in 2015. The film also includes many references to its time, like portable laptops and modern cell phones that feature a full screen. The film also takes place in San Francisco, featuring many modern sights in the city, including packed streets, townhouses, and unique dining experiences, like broccoli on pizza. The same modern technology is shown in Inside Out 2, as everyone at the hockey camp has their phones confiscated by Coach Roberts. Since May is 13 in her film, she would be in her early to mid-20s during the events of Inside Out. Therefore, thanks to the timeline and the different location settings, the two girls could live in the same universe and share similar experiences about growing up.
So, as it turns out, the green trash can is not recycling. It's for greens, like compost and eggshells. And the blue one is recycling.
Number 3. The Stories. The Inside Out franchise follows Riley Anderson as she experiences numerous life changes, including moving across the country to San Francisco and starting high school a few years later, even though her best friends won't attend school with her. During Inside Out 2, she also begins puberty, which introduces new complications and emotions into Riley's mind, which influences her behavior and decisions. In the film, puberty and the changes it incites are represented by Riley's headquarters expanding to make more room for more emotions and perceptions. Likewise, in Turning Red, the film seems to insinuate puberty with May's transformation into her inner red panda. There's a scene in the film where her mother misinterprets May's transformation as beginning a milestone during puberty. The film received backlash for doing so, but it may have paved the way for Inside Out 2 to have the same narrative beats. In both films, Riley and May struggle with their identity, have conflicts with their friends, go to great lengths to achieve something they want, and learn essential lessons about their inner selves and sense of self. As the two films are rooted in realism about what it's like to grow up, it's not a stretch to assume that they may occur in the same universe, as May and Riley encounter realistic and universal problems. The only thing to set them apart would be the unique story elements found in each film. However, suppose the suspension of disbelief can be stretched enough to believe that there's an entire functioning world within one's mind. In that case, believing in a family's curse that magically impacts them for generations doesn't seem unreasonable.
Hockey scholarship, here we go!
Stop! It's just hockey camp. I mean, who knows what'll happen?
Number 4, the animation. Many Pixar films are known for their distinct animation styles. Inside Out and Turning Red are no exception, as they feature similar 3D styles, making the animated moments in Riley and May's personal lives realistic. The films use a series of 3D models and sets to bring their films to life, and the animation details put into each are more beautiful than the last. Despite existing in different stories with distinct elements of magic and unique concepts, Riley and May still look like two young girls who could meet and interact with one another. When Turning Red begins, before May comes into power, she looks like she could appear as a background character in Inside Out. Although highly unlikely, some fans online have theorized that Grace from Inside Out 2 and Abby from Turning Red may have family relations due to their similar designs, including facial structure and hairstyle. The theory is only possible because the two franchises have close animation styles, which made many people make the connection.
And I will be with you every step of the way.
Number 5, in-world references. As we already covered, Pixar films like nodding and acknowledging their previous films. Their Easter eggs allow the Pixar theory to grow while connecting many stories throughout a shared narrative universe. Inside Out 2 is no exception to this phenomenon, as a 4-Town poster resides in Riley's bedroom among her other posters and drawings. There's a scene later in the film where Riley spends time with the Firehawks and they talk about music. Anxiety and other emotions pull Riley's knowledge about music to the surface. As she tries to remember everything she knows about modern music to impress the older girls, she abandons and makes fun of her favorite band, Get Up and Glow. However, Riley's panic at coming up with a good answer was likely due to her taste in music being older. We know from Riley's first date that Mr. Anderson used to be in a band and listens to artists like AC/DC, meaning Riley was likely raised on the same music. She also has a 4-Town poster in her bedroom, the only other merch shown among her possessions that points to her musical taste. 4-Town is the 2000s boy band that May and her friends are obsessed with, as they go to great lengths to obtain tickets for their concert. The band has likely broken up since the poster features 4-Town in their Turning Red appearances. Riley enjoys their older music, irrelevant to her conversation with the Firehawks. However, if Riley knows about 4-Town, then it's likely that an older May will share the same universe with her too.
Your reward. 99 Australian tour with the Girl I Love Your Jeans remix. Oh.
While May and Riley may never interact in their franchises, the timelines, themes, and references shared between the two films make it possible for Inside Out and Turning Red to coexist, provided we can accept that magic exists in both universes. The theory that all Pixar films connect is a fun way to appreciate and view the studio's creative work, and who knows? May and Riley may attend a 4-Town reunion together.
Coach will put us on the team, and we'll all be Firehawks!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
And my family's fine with that. But me?
Be back by lunch, mijo.
Love you, Mama!